Hello everyone, here we go. It is 2 o'clock on Thursday the 26th of September, and that means today is CraftAlong. Hello everyone, how are we today? I'm looking at the comments. I haven't had time to read ahead today, I just popped straight in. I've had one of those days where just things didn't come quite right together and I wasn't quite ready for my CraftAlong alternate projects. I was working hard on those this morning. And I've really been pushing myself today to try and have everything ready to go. Nearly there. But I just had a phone call from my daughter to say that the car dealership had tried to call her. And I went, oh, that's weird. Why they'd be calling her? And then I suddenly, only a few minutes ago, went, oh, my car was meant to be in for service today. Whoops, I totally forgot. So as soon as I finish this CraftAlong video, I'm going to have to ring them and apologize and make another booking. I can't believe I forgot. Totally forgot. Does anyone ever do that? And then you feel really bad because you had this appointment. It was in my diary and everything, but I was so focused on all my projects for today that I just didn't even think about it. So, how is everybody else? Hopefully you're having a better day than I am. Looking to see if there's anything special. So Tanya asked if Sheila, if she was crafting today with me or just watching. I'd like to know the answer to that too. Who's just watching and who's crafting today? And either response is completely legitimate. You don't need to worry that you should be crafting or whether you should be watching. Both are fine. If you'd like to craft along, that's why it's called CraftAlong. You are welcome to, but you do not have to. So I'm just looking to see if I've missed any questions. Please ask them again. I don't have time to go back through all the comments because there's lots of them. All right, everyone. Well, I'll get straight into it today because we only have an hour. Oh, you won $35 at bingo, Glenda. That's pretty cool. You're having a better day than me. Oh, you cut up everything, so you're crafting along today, Tanya. Fantastic. And Judy's talking to us from Kansas. Hi, Judy. All right, so there's been lots of things coming up. This is one of the things today, is our CraftAlong event. I have a project to make with you that I hope you'll really love. If you are one of those people who ordered with me last month and received a supply pack, those supply packs should have reached you in the last day or two. So I sent them priority, some went Friday and the rest went Monday priority. So hopefully everyone got them. And you get one of those if you place an order over $60 with me in any given month. So if you placed a $60 order in August, then you got the CraftAlong project to make the September project. If you placed an order with me for $60 in or more in September, then you get the project supplies to CraftAlong in October. That's how it works. That's how we do it. Yes, we are well. Thank you, Judy. You don't know what we're doing? But if you have the bits, all right. I always put a supply list for everyone who doesn't have the packs. I put the supply list up on my blog about a week before. So that people have time to, think about what they have, if they want to substitute products, that kind of stuff. So I'll show you what we're making. And let me switch over to the desk so you can see it. All right, so I've got this is what the people with the supply packs have received, all right, in their little boxes. And this is, you can see here, I'm calling this a circle latch card. I got the idea of a different type of latch card that I saw online, and then I changed mine to make a circle. So I think it's rather cool. Then that holds this piece down, as you can see, and then you open it up, and it's kind of a fun fold card, but it's got a little fun latch there to keep it closed. Okay, so you must have missed it. That's okay. It's on the blog right now, actually. So there you go. You're getting ready for nasty storms, Roz. That's no good. Yeah, I did hear this. Wasn't there one? I've forgotten the name of it. There was one, I think it started with an F. Francine, is that right? Was that last week? And it went up through Louisiana and Texas and places like that. I always keep an eye on those things because I've got family in Mississippi, Louisiana. So my brother-in-law, so my husband's brother, and his partner live in Mississippi. So they're only about an hour outside of New Orleans, so they're quite close to the border. So yeah, I hope you do stay safe. And I know this is that time of year, isn't it, where they all come through nasty storms. Hey Jen, nice to see you. I can't even talk fast enough to name everybody, so let alone type. So I totally understand, and I know we all understand. So we just say hello, everyone, and that'll have to cover it, right? All right, so this is the card we're making today. Let's have a look at the pieces that you would have got in your packs. And if you don't have the pieces, you could craft along by having these pieces ready to go, okay? So like I said, all the instructions and measurements and everything are on the blog. So let me just go back over. So basic beige cardstock. Now this is in centimeters, okay? We have a piece here that is 10.5 centimeters wide by the full length of your cardstock. It's 29 centimeters, 29.7 centimeters long, okay? Cut in half vertically. And then you score it at the 14.8 mark, and you cut off about 7.5 centimeters off this end, okay? So then you have a short piece that folds over like so. Now the piece that we cut off, I cut it down slightly, as you can see, but this is the piece that we cut off that I've used for the front. All right, so there's no wastage. This is the full length, and then I've turned this piece the other way. So instead of being like so, we've turned it this way, and it ends up on the front of our card. Do you see that? So it's a good way to use up all your cardstock. Okay, now I have given everybody a vanilla Christmas that goes on a gold piece. Now my original card, I'd done this in Mossy Meadow with the gold Christmas on top. I decided that I thought that was a bit dark, and I think it looks better. I and ahed over it, but I decided it looked better with the gold underneath and the vanilla on top. So that's what you have today if you're opening your packs now. So now there's also a piece of basic beige. Let me see. So this piece here ends up being 7 by 10. So 7 by 10 centimeters, which is a little bit less. Okay, so that's how that gets cut down. And then also some Mossy Meadow cardstock. So we've got 3 different pieces of Mossy Meadow cardstock. Okay, but they're not all the same size. So we have 2 that are 7.5 by 10.5. Okay, so that's the same width as this piece. Okay, and then 7.5 this way, and then one piece that's a little bit smaller. It's 10 by 7. Okay, so it actually fits. If you were to do it, it actually fits inside the other one, and that's because I have a piece of vanilla that's going to go ultimately on one of the larger pieces. I have the piece that is the cut down piece, and you notice I've embossed this. So I've embossed it with the painted trees set. Actually, let me quickly grab you the painted tree set so you can see it. These are all part of the Season of Elegance suite. Okay, so most of the pieces I'm using today are part of that suite. And what I did was I just cut these 2 trees, and I placed them, so I've got a fair amount of those 2 trees on this front. Okay, so that's what that is. And that one fits on one of those larger pieces. Yeah, that's a larger piece. So we've got a vanilla piece that fits on the larger Mossy Meadow piece, and a basic beige piece that we embossed, and that actually fits on a larger piece as well. And then we've got a smaller piece of Mossy Meadow, and I've cut a 6.5 by, what was it, 9.5 piece, and I'm going to be using this on the front of my card. So this piece will end up here on this folded left-hand side, okay, like so. Does that make sense what we're doing? Let me just making sure. Okay. Hello. I see we've got lots of people popping in, so hi everyone as you arrive. You're well prepared, Roz? That's good to hear. So does your husband work outside the home and he has to come home? Is that what's happening? You're on the east coast of Central Florida. Yeah, I was going to say that must be Orlando area, so you're not far from there. That's right. We're heading over there next year. I'm going over with Stampin' Up on the Disney incentive trip, so we won't be very far from you, Roz. All right, so let's work on this piece first. I just realized I didn't grab my sponge dauber. So you'll want a sponge dauber for this, and that was listed in the supplies in the instructions on the blog. And the reason that you're going to want a sponge dauber is we're going to be coloring this with our Mossy Meadow ink. Okay, so we're going to be using this. Now you might notice when you look at this piece here, it looks like it's a couple of different colors, but actually it's not. All right, it's actually those. It looks like that because when you when you sponge over it, the dark, like the more the pieces that are a little bit more higher embossed, or they're a bit more they're higher. I don't know how to say that. Somebody might be able to say it better than me. They pick up the most color, and then the ones at the back pick up a softer amount of color. So it actually looks like it's two tones, but it's actually all one color. Is it basic beige? Raised. Thank you, Judy. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. I just couldn't. Hey, Sharon, are you back from overseas? You back now? Yep. Everyone's saying raised. Yep. Thank you, girls. You guys have a much better command of the English language than I do. All right. Let me quickly grab. Now, if you don't have a sponge dauber, you could also use a blending brush. Okay, so we could do that, but I think you don't get quite as detailed a result, because you end up some of the bristles go down in between, and it's sort of the whole thing ends up green. It still will look nice. Now, also don't forget you've got some little bling gems in your bags as well. Probably 3. There should be 3. So you might just want to make sure you haven't lost those when you open your bags. All right, let me quickly grab my sponge dauber, which I forgot to bring out. Okay. I've actually got a couple of bags of sponge daubers. Let me just find them. All right, so I'm going to use one of these. Does everyone have sponge daubers at their disposal? You got home late yesterday. You must be so tired. Oh, yeah, just watch. Make it another day when you feel more with it, Sharon. But the trip looked fantastic. I bet you had a great time. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this straight into my Mossy Meadow ink. Just pounce it around in there a few times so it picks up a little bit of, you probably can't see it very well, but it does actually pick up a bit of colour. And then we're going to start very, very gently. Don't push hard. Just going over the raised, see, I've got it now, the raised areas of your embossing folder. All right, so we're just going to kind of circle around, and you can see how it picks up the color. It looks really nice. You don't need it to be exact or precise. You just want it to get a bit of color on it. So this is a really nice way of adding both texture and color to your card fronts. And I like it particularly on basic beige. I think basic beige and Mossy Meadow look really good together. And some of the Season of Elegance paper from the catalogue also features those colors as well. So doesn't that look nice? I just think it's so pretty and such an easy thing to do. So easy. All right, I'm going to do the other tree now. So just light, but circle around and around. If you do get a little bit in between, it's not the end of the world, but as long as you're getting a bit of darker color on those raised areas. All right, how's that looking? Looks good, doesn't it? Just straight away, this is such an easy but effective technique. All right, I'm happy with that. If you can go back and make your color come up a bit darker if you want to, but it looks really, really good. Thanks, Judy. I like it too. Oh, Clint's with us today. Hi. All right, so I'm going to close that. Actually, I'll be reopening it again in a little bit, but I'll close it for now. Okay. All right, so we've got this little piece. Now, we might as well go ahead, and we need this one on one of the darker Mossy Meadow pieces. Okay, so you can see how that fits on there. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use whatever glue you like. I like Tombow because it goes into those debossed areas. And let's get that stuck down. It's raining here today. It's been a wet old day. So no walking for me today. Not that I had time to walk anyway, but the rain made my mind up for sure. All right. So you're just kind of centering that. The good thing about Tombow is you can kind of wriggle it into place. That looks pretty good. Okay. So we're going to do the same with this piece. Now you could use the gold on the out-facing piece if you want to, but I figured seeing as we have gold in the backing piece, the piece that's like right here at the back. That's another basic beige and gold piece, and we've got gold here at the sides. If you want to go over the top and have gold on the front piece here, you can. I actually used the reverse side and had like this kind of canvasy looking piece there. So I'm actually going to do that with this one again. It seems a shame to put the gold pieces face down, I know, but anyway, that's what I'm doing. You're home after your trip to Adelaide, Suzanne. Well done. Good job. Did you have fun? Let me get this in the right spot. Okay, so that's just centered on our piece of Mossy Meadow here, and then that piece is ready to go. Right, so we've got this piece ready to go and this piece ready to go. This piece is going to go on the inside. So I'm actually going to go ahead and decorate the inside piece. So you've got your base here, okay, and you might want to grab a bone folder and just flatten down that crease. All right, I've got these pieces also. You'll notice we've got, now I've actually already glued mine together. I didn't mean to do that, but I did do that. Yours will be separate in your bag. So this is a larger stylish shapes circle, and then I've actually done this 2-inch punch, and I've actually just punched a piece out of that. And then all you want to do, I've cut them in half for you, and then glue those two halves together so that they're lined up. Okay. Your DSP hasn't arrived yet. Well, that would make sense. Yeah, I'm waiting for something that I was hoping to craft with today, not in this session, but for one of my alternate projects. And the dies arrived, but the stamp set didn't. So, and that's, I had them on 2 different orders. I was hoping they'd both arrive here today, but they did not. So, all right, so this is how this would look, okay? You're going to pop it, doesn't matter which way it goes, but we're going to pop it in the center of this back panel. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue that down. I'm hoping there's not going to be a penalty for, I'm hoping there won't be a penalty for having not turned up with my car this morning. They're probably wondering where the heck I was. All right. That's centered in the middle of that back piece there. All right. Now this piece here is going to get glued down straight to this. You don't need to, you could stamp on it if you wanted to. I actually used the die. This little Christmas tree die here is from the Peaceful Evergreens dies. I'll show you all this stuff in a second. Okay. And what I did was I glued that down. So you can put these two together first if you like, and then glue your tree, or do it the other way around. It doesn't really matter. But the tree is just kind of like a nice little accent. This is the piece you would write on. So you could leave it empty to write on, but I kind of thought the tree was cute. There you go. That's the sort of thing that happens to me. I ordered my 2 on the same day as well, but one's arrived and one hasn't. So that was the reindeer dies and reindeer stamp set. So I'm still waiting for the stamp set, but I got the dies. So anyway, I still use them. I just can't use the stamps. All right. So I'm going to add a few dots. You don't need very much because basically you just need to hold this down. So we're just going to add a couple of dots, and I'm going to kind of go up the center of my tree. And then I'm going to add my tree right here on the side of my vanilla piece. All right, happy with that? That looks fine. I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to add some glue behind it, and we're going to center it right here in the middle of this gold and beige panel. So let's get some glue on it. And then we're going to, I always like to stand up when I am lining up something in the middle, and I'm going to center it so it's right there. That looks pretty centered to me. Close enough. And then that's going to sit right there like that. Right. Has everyone glued their 2 circle halves together? Oh, hey, Susie, how are you? All right. So this piece is going to line up with this. You can use any adhesive you like, but for this particular step, I find it easier to use some tear and tape. Okay, so I've got my tear and tape here, and I'm going to put it, because you don't have to wait for it to dry or anything, I'm going to put it right along that edge, the edge of the half circle where I've cut the half circle in half there, and I'm going to just rip off. It is called tear and tape for a reason. I'm going to rip that, and I'm going to peel off the back. Come on. If you have trouble peeling, just get something sharp and pop it under. All right, so now I want to have this right on this edge, and I'm going to line it up so it's centered with my panel top and bottom. And I'm just going to push that down nice and hard. Okay, so that's how this looks right now. Okay, so I'm calling this a circle latch card. Don't you think that's a good name for it? You could cut the circle out of the middle of the layer if you were being very frugal. I agree. That would be a really great way to go. Now, we've got this one that we've already put on the Mossy Meadow piece, and that piece is going to go right here on the left-hand side of our front fold here. So let's add some glue behind that. It's a little bit of construction with this card, but it's not a hard card to do. It's actually a pretty easy one. Thanks for the thumbs up, girls, and thanks for the lovely comments. I'm very grateful. Thank you for being here. All right, let's get that. Right there, centered on that panel. Right, now this one, okay, this is the next stage, okay? So this is the panel that's going to go on here next. And what you're going to do is you want this one to line up exactly. It's the same size as this one. So we're going to line those two up so they match exactly. So that means we're only going to be gluing this half, okay? So I'm just put my finger here where it goes to. I know it goes here at the top, and I'm just going to bring a row of glue straight down there. Does that kind of make sense? So it's kind of mimicking what's going on the other side. And now when I come in here and I line this up, I'm going to stand up so I can see what I'm doing straight from above. And I'm going to line it up so that those two corners may match up. And I'm going to glue that down in one spot. All right. So now this opens so that this rectangle here matches up with this rectangle underneath. Does that make sense what we're doing? Oh, good. That's good to hear, Suzanne. All right, so those are really great. Now we've got these pieces, and I've given everybody the gold bigger Christmas and the smaller vanilla. Okay, so you should have these in your box. All right, so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to do, as I did before, just some dots, very small dots of Tombow here and there in some of the bigger areas. And I usually try and do it on bits that would be inclined to flap around, if that makes sense. So any sticky outy bits, I think we said a couple of weeks ago that that's the official term, sticky outy bits. So you just want, so the top of the T would be a sticky outy bit. I have customers that call different things. We have all kinds of funny names. So I say sticky outy bits. I've got a customer who always calls dimensionals uppities. And same customer actually also calls embellishments or bling. She calls those Billy Doos. So all right, so this is how this is looking. I'm wondering if I should have put, that's a bit of a sticky outy bit up the top here too. So I might just put a little tiny bit on there. Ever so little. You don't want to squeeze too hard or your glue's going to go everywhere. There we go. That's good. All right. So now I'm going to lay this down onto the gold Christmas. And what you want to do is you kind of want to line it up at the end and then kind of just let it fall into place as you go along. Now you can see I've kind of missed a little bit here. So it's Tombow, remember, so I can pull that into the right spot. And then, now the only thing I can't help you with this was when I cut these out, there is a tiny little piece that pops out of the center of the eye. And there's just no way when I was putting all these pieces in bags that I could keep track of all those little tiny things. So you might notice I just didn't even bother to put it on here, and that's probably a little bit lazy. The gold one would have been probably easier to find than the vanilla, but I'm not too worried about it. If you were doing this in a color, so not on the foil, but if you were doing it in a color, like a darker color, you could actually add with a blend, you could add a little bit of a dot of color. But because this is vanilla, we don't have a vanilla blend, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. Everyone knows that says Christmas, right? Your mum said you had sticky outer bit ears. That wasn't very nice. Oh, was it true? I'm sure it wasn't. And that's what hair's for. You cover up your ears with your hair, right? You call them uppers. See, everyone's got their, okay, who else has funny names for things that we regularly think about? For dimensionals, for example. Use a bling dot on it. You could do that. We don't have any actually I was going to say we don't have any vanilla ones, but we do have vanilla, and I have little tiny vanilla ones. Let me see how that would look. This is a vanilla one from the Nests of Winter suite, and actually that looks pretty good. Look at that. There you go. So I don't know if anyone has some of those, but you could probably use a tiny iridescent pearl. That would probably work as well. But something very small that you could add to that. Okay. Lipper uppers. There you go. Everyone's got bits. Yep. That's right. That's right. All right. So this is going to go right across here like so. Okay. So kind of from one side to the other. And I kept it slightly to the left because when this is sitting underneath our circle, okay, you don't want it too close to, you could have it a bit further over if you wanted to, but I kind of liked it slightly to the side. Anyway, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to wax some dimensionals behind this. Lifter uppers. Yep. That's good, Joanne. There's so many different names for regular things, but I do have a couple of customers who say the funniest things about. My favorite word, I may have told you guys before this, but I had a group of customers that always called dimensionals, they always called them dementias. And I always thought that was pretty funny. I'm using a mini one up this end because it's a little bit of a tight squeeze, so let's go with a mini one. All right, and let's go right about here. And we're just going to go straight across like so. All right, so we've got Christmas on there. Now we need a happy or a merry, don't you think? So in my Peaceful Season dies and stamps, these are the ones that match. This Christmas actually matches this. Okay, so you can actually stamp on this, the larger piece, and you could stamp this and it would match up. But what I like is that you have both a happy and a merry that you could choose. Now, what if you don't have the stamp set? What if you don't have, I love this stamp set. I think it's so good. But what if you don't have these? You can use any happy from a happy birthday or a Merry Christmas from another set where you can just stamp it and then chop off the merry to pop in here, because we're just using this on a little tiny piece. I did give everybody, where did it go? A vanilla piece. Did I? No, I dropped on the ground. There we go. a vanilla piece, all right, and I'm going to stamp either merry or happy. Now, I know some people don't like Merry Christmas. I remember when I was growing up, my mum didn't like Merry Christmas because it was to do with alcohol. I don't know why, but that's what she thought. You know, I guess it's the eat, drink, and be merry sort of a sentiment. Whereas some people feel that it should be Merry Christmas. And, you know, just everyone has a different idea of what it should or shouldn't be, right? But shall we do, you're probably more likely, if you don't have this stamp, you're probably more likely to have a happy, from a happy birthday, and you could, you know, chop it so that the happy, or you could mask off the word birthday and end up just with the happy, right? So I'm going to do happy here right now, but you could use any stamp you have. Also, if anyone has the greetings of the season stamps, let me find my greetings of the season stamps. I did have those out. Here they are. Those also have a merry and a happy. Okay, so if you have these ones, these have been out a couple of months. No, we didn't drink either. But you always said Merry Christmas anyway. Yeah, my mum wouldn't even go into a bottle shop or anything like that because she didn't think that was the right thing to do. So I grew up in a very conservative kind of environment. So, and you know, everyone has their ideas of what they think is right and wrong, and you've got to live by what you think, right? So, we have a happy and a merry here in the greetings of the season set. And there's also a merry and a happy in a scrolly font. If you wanted those, you could cut those out as well. But I'm actually just going to use my Mossy Meadow again, the same as I did before on the trees. And I'm just going to stamp, ink up my happy. And I'm just going to stamp it right here on my bit of vanilla, little piece of vanilla that I've given everybody. And obviously you use vanilla with this because the white would be a little bit stark, okay? I think the vanilla is softer and gives you a better finish. Now we're just going to grab some scissors, some paper snips, which I have green glimmer paper all over after having used that this morning. And I'm just going to chop around this. So this is a pretty easy, simple thing to do. You don't even have to do it straight. You could even have it a little bit haphazard and that would still look great. All right, so I'm just cutting happy. So there we go, like that. And it's going to end up on here. Now, if you want to, you can actually, if you want to ink around this, because I did ink around mine, you could ink around it by actually, you know, running it around in your ink pad. You could use the sponge dauber that we used before. Or if you have a blends marker, you could use your blends marker and run in the Mossy Meadow and run that around as well. So if you don't have Mossy Meadow, you can also get away with Old Olive because Mossy Meadow tonally is very, very close to Old Olive. Just Mossy Meadow's darker. That's all. But essentially they're the same color, dark and light. All right, so you can have these on an angle. So you can see I put mine on an angle here, or you can have it straight. Totally up to you how you have it. And I had it sort of here in the middle so I wouldn't cover up too much of my tree. So I'm actually just going to glue that straight down. Because the Christmas is on dimensionals, I'm not going to worry about putting the happy on dimensionals as well. Come on, out you come, Tombo. There you go. Oh, right, Sheila, that makes sense. Mary is fine, is it, Donna? You have friends that put Happy Christmas because they prefer it. Yeah, look, you know, everyone, oops, better not put it upside down. Everyone has their ideas of what they think is good or right or whatever. So, you know, you just do whatever works for you. All right, there we go. There's our happy. Did I put that on straight? I feel like it's not quite straight. There you go, that's better. All right, now the last thing we have in our little bags this month is we have some bling. Now these are the textured gold dots that form part of this suite, and you can put them wherever you like, but I put one over here just near the Merry Christmas, near the edge of the Christmas, and these are small, medium, and large. So there's a medium, and some of you might have, you know, a couple of the same size because it depends on what we had when we're putting the packs together, but the idea is to have small, medium, and large. Okay, our card is done. What do you think? You don't need alcohol to be merry? Yeah, me either. Leslie, I'm the same. Everyone is different. You say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year? Yeah. All right, so this is the card this month. Do we like it? Do you like your card? And who's going to make one of these? Very easy. So it's called the Circle Latch card. I thought it turned out really cool. I did see one online, and I cannot remember. It was on, I don't remember where I originally saw it. It had a triangle latch. And then I thought, well, it doesn't have to be a triangle. We'll make it a circle instead. So there you go. Now, what do you think? Do you think it looks better with the green background behind, or do you like it with the vanilla on the gold? I changed it from the green to the gold and vanilla. I thought that was better. But does anyone have a particular feeling about that? You could do either, of course. All right. Vanilla, I think so. I wondered if it was just me. Jen said vanilla as well. Sheila said vanilla and gold. So it looks like I made the right decision. It took me a little while to make my mind up about that. You accidentally put the gold on vanilla. That's okay. It would still look fine. It would look completely fine. All right. Who's ready to see some alternate cards for this month? And I'm going to actually bring in my mini catalogue and show you what we've just played around with. Okay, this is the Season of Elegance, it's called. And you can see why, because the paper is absolutely beautiful. So there's a double page spread that uses all the same products that I've just used. There's our gold dots. There's our little Christmas tree we put inside. And some other, they've used the daubers on the trees, the same as we did. Some fun things, okay? This is what they call a mega suite. A mega suite has everything in it, okay? And the reason it's a mega suite is it has 2 stamp sets and 2 die sets. That makes it a mega suite, not just a regular suite. And then there's the gold dots, the painted trees embossing folder. Some beautiful, I didn't even use this today because I'm not using red, but this is the cherry cobbler and gold ribbon, which is beautiful. And then these here, these little guys, are this is all the beautiful paper that this suite is. Now, I've got part of a pack of paper here, not a full pack, because I've been playing with mine, and so you're only going to see the bits that I have left. But how gorgeous is this? It is just stunning. I know, right, Leslie? Oh, thanks, Carolyn. I really appreciate that. And then on the back, it's like a painted texture. It looks like you could get your fingers in it, doesn't it? I love that. All right, so I love the gold side because obviously this is kind of the A side, and then on the back you kind of have the B side, but I like both. I think they're really lovely. And then this is the one that I used on one of my projects today. You're going to see it in just a moment. And then the back of that, look at that. It's like a, can you see it's like a canvas, and then the paint running down the canvas. Looks really cool. And then we have some more green and more red. So there's several sheets of this. There's 2 of each color. This is the basic beige and the gold, which is the one I've been using the most. I actually really love this. And there are 2 different, I've actually used that one of them, but there are 2 different designs of the basic beige and the gold. One is more like well, actually one is more like this one, big blotches of gold. And then this one's got like the small blotches of the gold. So they're really, really beautiful. Hey, Cheryl, nice to see you. So that is what we're playing with today. We've just used this beautiful, beautiful paper. It is specialty paper, which means it is a little bit more expensive than the regular DSP. So the regular designer series paper is $21.75, but this one, because it's a specialty, is $29. Ah, there you go. Well, you might you're giving away my secrets because I'm about to show you something like that too, Judy. All right. Let me grab my alternates. All right. So here are the alternate designs this month. I've had a bit of fun. So the theme this month is it's the mini catalog showcase, and so everything I've made is with new catalog products. Okay. Here I've used, excuse me. Excuse me. I've used the Humble Home bundle with the glimmer paper. That's the garden green glimmer paper. And you might see I've used some, it's the scrappy technique. to use a whole bunch of scraps of paper for my background. Okay, and then all the instructions for this card are going to be in the additional tutorials that come out. Okay, how do you get your hands on the additional tutorials? If you got the supply pack to make this project, you are automatically going to get all the extra tutorials in your inbox. They are video tutorials. I've sat down and made the videos. I just need to finish editing them and writing out all the measurements, and they'll be out tomorrow. Okay, so hey Patricia, nice to see you. But this one here I did with a bunch of scraps, and so that's a lot of fun. Okay, so that's one. Then this is the one that reminds me of what you were just talking about, Judy. This is a little book that I made with the book treat boxes, and it has a magnet catch. Okay, so it makes that lovely satisfying sound when actually it didn't just then because the top magnet came off, but hopefully you'll see when I put that back in spot, it makes that click sound. Okay, but I made it to look like a little book, and I've actually used some of the Christmas labels dies to finish my little book off. So I think it turned out really nice. So this is from the Christmas labels, and I used the stamp from the Christmas labels. And you could do, it is cute, isn't it? And then you could put whatever you like inside. You could put, you know, little lollies. You could fit a credit card in here. You know, I've got my spotlight card for anyone, you know. Your credit card would fit inside. And if I was going to give this to someone, instead of just putting a gift card inside, I would actually put some like shredded paper or something like that to make it a little bit more like presented, a little bit nicer. But yeah, you can have a lot of fun with these. So the book treat boxes are actually in our mini catalog. They're on page, I think is it 27, with the reindeer fun stuff. Here they are. Yeah, reindeer days. Okay, so there's the book treat boxes right there. And then I've used some of the Season of Elegance paper to the same as what we just used in our first card. I used that to color it, and use the Christmas labels pieces to decorate it and make it look like a vintage. I wanted it to look like an antique hardcover book. Okay, so that's kind of what we ended up with. So there's that. All right, so 1 and 2. And then we have a diorama card because, you know, and I did a couple of slightly different styles of diorama card. They're very, very similar, okay, but I love a good diorama. And for this one, I've used the Nests for Winter bundle, and I think that it turned out really cool. And all the instructions, of course, and measurements and everything will be in the additional tutorials, okay, that come out with this. And you're thinking to yourself, well, yeah, but what if I didn't place an order last month? How do I get a tutorial then? What do I do? You can purchase these for $15 for all the tutorials. So you get the additional 4 tutorials. I'm showing you the additional 4 cards now. This is the last one. And this is a little pop-out a pop-out panel card. Okay, so this is made with the reindeer dies. This is the one that I was hoping that the stamp set would arrive so I could use one of the stamps down here. I've actually used one of the Peaceful Season banners to put that on because I thought that looked really nice. And then inside I've got my little reindeers in the forest here, and they turned out really fun. I used the plaid embossing folder, which is also part of the same Reindeer Days suite. Okay, so I have used the peppermints. Now, I have noticed, I've been looking and looking, the peppermints have been on unavailable for the last little bit because they're so popular and everyone loved them. So they sold out in like record time. They are due back in. They were supposed to come in this week. So I'm keep checking because I'm thinking they're going to be available again any tick of the clock. I've used a bigger peppermint here and 2 small ones up the top. So, and this little reindeer here is cut straight from the Reindeer Days paper. Okay, so, yeah, bit of fun. Love this. And this is from the Peaceful Season. That's this stamp right here, the one that says the Season of Wonder and Happiness. That's where that one's from. Okay, so, but when you open it up, you can see it's a cool little card. If I did have my reindeer dies, I think reindeer stamps, I think I would have stamped maybe a couple of things across the bottom here just for some fun. But because I haven't got them yet, I didn't do that. But still, the instructions for this card. So there are all the cards this month. So we've got the one that we made together. Then we've got the Humble Home, the Reindeer Days, the book treat box, and the diorama with the Nests of Winter. The Nests of Winter has become one of my favorite suites out of this catalogue. I absolutely love it. I think it's so beautiful. Oh, hi, Susan. How are you? Oh, really? So yours came back in and sold out by 9 a.m. the day they arrived. That's crazy. I hope they've ordered tons and tons of them. Okay, so let me quickly. Nests of Winter is on page 31. This is it. And this is the die that you use to make the diorama. Okay, so it's actually very easy to do. I was going to use the embossing folder, but I didn't end up using it on this card today. I ended up using DSP in the background instead. But you could have also used some of the other. So what do we think? Do you like this month's projects? What do we think? And what's your favorite? Which is your favorite project? I'm really glad you like them. Yay. I know this book treat boxes was something that I just sort of came up with, and I just like how it turned out. It's very easy though. And I like that the binding. I did think about the fact we used to have a canvas embossing folder. Does anyone remember that? We don't have it anymore, but how nice would that black strip have been embossed with the canvas to make it really look like the edge of a book? So there we go. You love today's card. That's awesome. I'm so glad, you guys. Oh, the one I demonstrated, Joanne. I'm glad you like that one. Oh, thank you. That'd be awesome, Carolyn. Well, I don't have it up yet, so I'm hoping it'll be up tomorrow sometime. I still haven't finished recording the last tutorial. I've done all of these ones, but I haven't done this one yet. So I've got to do the reindeer one. And then I've also got to write out all the measurements in the PDF document that you get for that as well. So what do you get when you purchase or when you receive these for free, depending on your situation? If you're in my team, you also get these. Okay, so that's a nice little perk of being in the team, right? But what you get instructions, video instructions, step-by-step for all of the projects. Okay, and then you also get a document, a PDF that has all the measurements. For the most part, I do measurements in both centimeters and in inches as well, so that everyone can follow along no matter where they are. But for the diorama, it actually was easier. And for the book, those two, it was easier to just do them in inches because dioramas I find are easier that way. But the book is actually, it's 3 inches by 4 inches, this book. So much easier just to do it in inches than any other way. How did I make the gold corners? Ooh, well, you would just have to find that out, won't you? That'll be in the tutorial, Sheila. You need to move to Australia, Judy. That's okay. It's no trouble. Yes, I will be live tomorrow night, Donna. I will be, unless something untoward happens. But right now, I expect to be. I do have a couple of things coming up in October that might mean I have to pre-record a couple towards the end of October. But for now, I'm still going live every Friday and Sunday night. So there you go. I'm sorry. I will give you a hint. Okay. Look at the Christmas labels dies and you might be able to work it out. And maybe if we have time in our Zoom on Monday, for anyone who has the decorative trees bundle, if you wanted to craft along with us on Monday afternoon, the same time as this video, so 2 p.m., I'm going live on a Zoom call, and anyone is welcome to join us. It's $15 to do the Zoom class, or you are welcome if you've bought the decorative trees bundle from me, you can also do it. So a couple of different ways to. There is a special deal. That's right, Marilyn. And I haven't even talked about that yet. You know what? How bad am I? I hadn't even mentioned it. Who's interested in finding out what the special deal is to join Stampin' Up next month as a demonstrator? Anyone? I'm going to quickly tell you because it was in our updates that came out this week, and it hasn't been talked about very much yet. But I think for anyone who's coming along to the World Card Making Day free class that Stampin' Up is putting on the 5th of October, that's 2 p.m. our time, or wherever you are in your market. I think it's going to be the same time in every market, 2 p.m. on that date. They will probably talk about it then as well. So the deal will be you get an extra $51 worth of product in your kit this month. When I say this month, I mean October. Okay, so from the 1st to I'm just double checking, making sure. Okay, from the 1st to the 31st of October, anyone who signs up to be a demonstrator for $169 Australian will receive $286 worth of products in their starter kit. That's a good deal, guys. Really good. So it's always good because you get $235 worth of product. But right now, in October, you will get $286, and it's free shipping and free business supplies as well. And sometimes people say to me, oh, I don't want the business supplies. That's okay. You get them anyway. And then, I usually suggest you hang on to them a while just in case. And after that, you can decide what you want to do with them. But what goes in your kit, whatever you want, whatever you think will be useful. And you're allowed to use pre-order items in your kit. Did you know that? So that means it is a good deal, right? So, and that means if you are ordering in October a new kit, you're allowed to put pre-order stuff in there as well. And what will be on pre-order? We will have our next online exclusive items on pre-order in October. Okay, so, and people are going to say, well, how do we know what they are? Reach out. If you're thinking about joining, you can reach out and find out what the online exclusive items are going to be and see if you want to add those to your kit. Okay, so by all means, contact me and I will let you know. But we haven't actually got any information on those yet. I have had a sneaky peek at some of them, but we haven't got full deals on what's coming out yet in November for online exclusives. So waiting to see how much everything's going to be and what all the products are going to be. So that's pretty cool. Yes, so our online pre-order for online exclusives starts on October 1st. That is correct. That's right, Judy. So really, really cool things, right? So what did we think? I hope you love these today. Let me switch back. Give me a second. I'm going to come back over here. Here I am. Okay, so I hope that you've enjoyed CraftAlong today for another month. I will put tomorrow, when these are all completed, they'll go up on my blog, and I'm going to give you the blog address so you can go check and see if it's free and available for you. When I say free, I mean available. I don't mean free. I need to be careful. Don't know how I say things. www.lhiggins.blogspot.com. Okay, if you go there, there will be tomorrow information about this month's CraftAlong and how you can get it. Now, some of my overseas purchases have had a little bit of trouble purchasing through the PayPal link, okay, in the last couple of months. And I don't know what's changed. I haven't been doing anything differently, but I think maybe something with PayPal has changed. So if you are having trouble, reach out to me, send me a message, and I'll send you an invoice, okay? And it's easy to pay by credit card, okay? So it's very easy. And some people will say sometimes, oh, but I don't have PayPal. I don't know how to use it. You don't need to actually have a PayPal account to use PayPal. You can use your credit card through PayPal. So it's actually very convenient. And PayPal is really good and safe. If ever you purchase something online and it turns out not to be, what you thought you were getting, or it turns out not to be right, or someone tries to scam you, or any of those things, PayPal will get you out of trouble. My son once got scammed. He bought a set of a drum kit online and spent, his $700 or $800 worth of hard-earned part-time money on it, and then found out it was a scam and he wasn't going to receive it. He reached out to PayPal. They immediately refunded his money and then went and did battle with the scammers. So I think PayPal's good and safe. They've always stood by me. All right, you guys. I'm just going back and looking. Yeah, PayPal is the best way because it's nice and safe. I agree. But some people have issues where they can't use it, so reach out. Colouring strawberries with blends. That sounds exciting. I haven't seen any of that yet. I wonder who is that, Judy? Oh, you finally caught up. Oh, did I go too fast, Tanya? I'm so sorry. Yeah, they do back purchases, so they're really good. I agree. All right. Sheila said she'll be in touch. All right, but I've got to finish them first and get them all ready to go, so they will be ready by tomorrow. Probably on tomorrow night's Friday Night Live, I'll be telling you all about them and letting you know that it's available to go and check out at that point. That is my goal. All right. So I hope everyone has a great rest of their Thursday, whatever you might be doing. I now need to ring the car service place and apologize for not having my car in. Whoops. I won't. Thank you, Tanya. All right, you guys. Oh, you hadn't cut your circles. Right. Yeah, that would have slowed you down a little bit. Sorry about that. Oh, it was with Shannon. Okay. For those of you who are in my team, there's a few team ladies here. I have a team retreat happening, online retreat happening next month towards the end of October. In fact, it's a month away exactly. And Shannon is our special guest. Shannon West is our special guest for my retreat this year. So that's a bit exciting. All right, you guys. Well, have a fantastic day, whatever you are doing. And I will see you all again very soon tomorrow night if you guys can be there. I'll see you on Friday. Bye, guys. See ya.